my movie recollection with Vincent Cloud.
And John Nemeth.
And this is a show that wants so badly to be a game show, but it can't. uh, just because it is a bit of a game. We talk about movies, but before we do that, though, we have each other guess what movie they have in front of them via letterboxed, or we press shuffle. This has to be random. Mostly, we like it to be random, and then we discuss them really quickly, like speed dating almost. But even if you guess the movie's title, you have to, and you haven't seen it, then you have to come up with a excuse. This should be all pre-taped, John. All of this stuff. Oh my God, it takes forever. All right, but let's get it started. Let's go with your movie, John.
All right. Let's see what we get here. All right. One word title starts with I, as in India.
Um, ooh. One word starts with I.
Hmm
Nothing's coming to mind.
Uh, it's got um, Matt Damon's in it.
Oh, oh my gosh. I know what it is. I just can't think of the name. Invictus?
That's right. That's exactly
Yeah.
right. Yes,
We've both seen it.
I've seen it.
Uh,
Can't
I
speak for you.
I saw it more.
No, I believe that. You certainly remember it more, I imagine.
Well, okay, let's talk about what it's about.
Well,
Sports.
sports and apartheid.
Ooh, I just saw that word in a in an article I was reading, and I was like, I've seen that before. I don't remember what it means. Is it basically desegregation?
No, apartheid or apartheid, I'm not sure. I think the H is silent.
I have no idea.
Well, it was, yeah, it was basically the minority rule of white people in South Africa. So, um, it's, yeah, more the segregation than the desegregation. So, like,
Oh, okay. Oops.
post-apartheid would be the desegregation, I guess.
Okay. Um, and also it's a sport that I would probably assume was football or something, but it's not. It's rugby, right? Is that what it
That's
is?
right. Yes. Yep.
Which is a strange sport. I don't really get that, but it doesn't matter with this movie. Is this Clint Eastwood?
Yes, it is. And of course, Nelson Mandela as portrayed by Morgan Freeman.
Oh, I wanted you to say Nelson Mandela as Morgan Freeman. Is what the movie he was born to play.
Well, I mean, we all knew Morgan Freeman died in prison in the 90s.
That's right, Shawshank. Man, this is I've always known of Nelson Mandela, but I don't know exactly too much stuff, but always heard the Morgan Freeman jokes. And then yeah, eventually he plays him and he got nominated for it. I thought he was really good in it. And also Matt Damon, he's like his leader or his team's leader.
Yeah,
Yeah,
team captain or
he's not
whatever.
a coach, but yeah, he's a captain. That means he plays there and stuff. And it was kind of distracting. Matt Damon got nominated for this movie, which he deserved it. But he has this fake nose that's almost you can't really tell sometimes, but he's wearing a fake nose. You ever notice that?
I did not nose to fit, but
Nose is
um, yeah, that seems weird and unnecessary.
yeah, so odd. It's like why even have it at all? It he doesn't look that different. But I don't know. It was an actor thing. He's like, I want to look like the actor, and they're like, Matt Damon, you guys look exactly the same. Doesn't matter. Um, but actually, sometimes actors who wear prosthetics, that's a good foot in the door for a nomination. So he was like, even just that little minute detail. it'll read to the judges or whatever.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, yeah. So it's a sports movie, but it's also this is after Nelson Mandela was elected president, and I remember the scene he goes to visit his old cell, and it's tiny. It's insane how small that
Oh
thing
yeah.
was. Yeah. Wow. So what do you think? Did this do anything for you?
I mean, I definitely liked it. I thought it was good. I don't remember any of the specifics of it really. I honestly don't even remember how like I don't even remember how the sports came into play with like the political um parts of the like were they trying to reintegrate the like the rugby team? Like was it an all-white team? Like do you remember like what the deal was?
I don't remember seeing any black athletes on that team. So I'm not really sure. I mean, I know the message was of, hey, let's desegregate, but it wasn't. I don't believe it was represented on the team itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember feeling good that they won, not just because they wanted to, but they needed to in the movie. Like that was really going to be a big message. Yeah. I don't know. Well done, but maybe I didn't really know what was going on, especially, yeah, the political stuff and the sports stuff. I don't get rugby, so it relied on the charisma of the two leads and Clint as a director. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's kind of all I remember about it, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I remember so Matt Damon gives this rousing speech where he's like, "Well, we got to win" or whatever, but I don't remember exactly what it was. But I tried to remember because within a couple days I was going to be the captain for our this Eau Claire annual kickball festival that we have or whatever. And I got all these people together. It was so awesome, like family members, friends, drinking buddies, and just formed this giant team. And I wanted to remember that speech so I could give it to them, but I couldn't remember. And the team was terrible. Everything, like, oh, they overinflated the kickballs, John. They look like eggs, so they didn't roll smoothly at all. Oh
Inflate gate.
my God. Yes, man. But I wish I
Um,
was the Tom Brady so I could, get something out of it. It just sucked. Oh my God, what a nightmare.
yeah, well, it's no coincidence though that you did that and now there's no apartheid in Eau Claire. So
Yes, you are welcome. All right, new movie. Let's get something
yes,
else.
see what you got.
We might have covered this. I mean, yeah, we might have covered this, but let's just assume not until it's announced. How about that? It's a one-word title starts with a
Cloverfield.
C. Have we covered that?
Um, I don't think so. I've I've never seen it. We talked about it
Super
in
8?
yeah, we it came up, we talked about it in regards to found footage stuff, um, like Blair Witch and yeah, in regards to Super 8, we talked about it, but I don't think we've actually talked about Cloverfield. Um, so I've never seen it. I think it's about like some sort of scary alien monsters attacking or something. Um, I don't know who's in it. I don't really know anything about it. J.J. Abrams directed it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I think it's the found footage deal. I don't know. I can just make it something up. Like I think the premise is there was some young adults who were trying to film a documentary on maybe a completely different topic, maybe the dental hygiene of the youth in Ohio or something. And As they were filming that, just all this weird alien stuff started happening, and they were able to capture it.
It's they're young people at a going away party or something. Like, I don't know. And TJ something is the camera operator. He's the only memorable character, and you never see him. You just like you see him react to things. Like if he gets depressed, the camera goes down. You know, if he's scared, it's shaking. And
But you hear his voice and stuff.
yeah, yeah, you hear his voice.
TJ, is it the guy from Silicon Valley? That TJ,
Maybe TJ Miller,
maybe?
yellow curly longish hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, smart ass.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So he's behind the camera. But the main, or it's a kaiju movie. It's a giant
Oh,
creature.
okay.
Yeah, so it sounds interesting. Like to me, I'm like, oh shit, we got to watch this movie. But the found footage is done in a way where I eventually started to get sick. You know, it's just too shaky
Oh,
sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah. But the creature idea is
Too much
cool.
swinging the camera around and that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's this one time where they're going down the stairs in a spiral, you know? So you're just, oh my God, stop. Like, this is obviously way wrong to record. Like, you're gonna get people sick. Um, so yeah, the creature though, I thought the design was kind of lame. I didn't really care for it. It was just kind of like almost like nonsense looking. Like it needed a solid, I don't know, it needed something.
Was it supposed to be like Lovecraftian or something? Like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
defies conceptualization from
Yeah, and
understanding.
that, but it just didn't work because you barely saw it, and when you did, it was like, oh, I didn't expect that. It just, I don't know. And then there's this love story. The guy and the girl, like they dated before, and but then they're like, oh, we might have feelings because we're in the middle of this giant emergency and stuff. And so you know, you see them like having this intimate conversation and they're like, "Hey TJ, could you put the camera off?" He's like, "It is off." You know? But
Oh,
eventually,
a
like,
liar.
yeah, there's so many weird excuses why the camera remains on, you know. I don't know. I think you might like it. Do you like kaiju
Yeah,
movies?
I've been curious to watch it. Just, I guess I've never gotten like a glowing enough of a review of it to finally sit down and watch it, but I'm sure I will eventually.
Well, I didn't mean to glow at all. I don't
I
really care
I
for
didn't
it.
get that you were.
Maybe some dim light behind the eyes trying to think of something he liked about this movie. Yeah.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
it was I'll probably never see it again. New movie. What do you got,
All
John?
right. What do I got? Oh, have
Oh
we
my
talked about
gosh.
this?
What have we talked about so far? I forgot to write these down.
Invictus and the one you just talked about. Um, all right. We've got a I don't know if we've talked about this. We'll find out. Six-word title. First word starts with A as in alpha.
Oh, okay. A few dollars way more.
It's a comedy of a SNL alum.
Oh. Night at the Roxbury?
No.
Dang it. Oh, that's five. Shit. It,
Um, let's see
so it's
here.
from an SNL sketch?
No,
Or oh.
but
Oh.
it's a SNL star.
Huh.
Um, let's see here. Seth Green is in it.
Oh, no. Wait,
It's
first word starts with an A or first word
yes,
is an A?
starts with an A.
Oh.
as in
Austin
Alpha.
Powers,
Yep,
International Man of Mystery.
that is correct.
Woohoo! Sweet. The first one.
Yes.
That always felt to me like underground. Like people don't know Austin Powers 1. And then Austin Powers 2 was like huge.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I never saw the first one until the second one had already come out.
Shit.
So
All right.
I did not come across it before it was popular.
Did you enjoy this?
Yes, I actually watched this somewhat recently and I still enjoyed it.
It's great. So it's about this spy named Austin Powers, and it's a parody of James Bond movies. Instead of being suave and like good looking, he's got these crazy British teeth.
And
And
he's goofy and nerdy.
yeah.
Um, but is still perceived as suave and good looking by
Yeah.
everyone around, except for Liz Hurley, who like seems to see him for what he is.
I couldn't help but look at your teeth the whole time. And he's so self-conscious about it. It's like, fuck that. I get it. I've got bad teeth. But okay, so this spy from the 60s, he's at his peak, and then he is
Yeah,
trying to capture Dr. Evil.
his nemesis escapes into cryogenic freezing in the Bob's
Big
Big
boy.
Boy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And then he sets off, so Austin Powers decides to freeze and wait till he returns, I think.
Yeah.
So when Dr. Evil comes back in the 90s, they unthaw Austin, and it's all about like, as long as there's free love and like whatever, I'll be sound as the pound. It's all about his views, the 60s views of things clashing with the 90s.
Yes.
Yeah. Written by Mike Myers. So you get a lot of, it's you get some Wayne's World type of humor, like breaking the fourth wall, doing product placements, like
Oh yeah.
very obviously. Yeah, but it's very good. I really like this. I think this is Will Ferrell's first movie, possibly.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. He's like
Oh wow.
Mustafa in the beginning. He's like one of the beginning people he has a meeting with, but then Dr. Evil presses the button that sends him into like some fiery pit, but he just won't die. It's like I'm still alive and stuff. Oh, that
Yeah.
that joke too. I think they replicate in the second one as well, don't they? Where he's like, I'm starting to smell like almonds or something like that.
Oh, I don't remember that. But yeah, you got obviously Mike Myers playing two characters and the Dr. Evil being the Lorne Michaels impression, which did we talk about in the other podcast about how that caused friction between him and Dana Carvey?
Yeah, yeah. Dana Carvey would do that impression all the time. I don't know if he did it on screen though at all. I've never seen it.
No.
And I wonder before this, was what's his name? From Kids in the Hall. He does a character with that uh impression. Yeah,
Hmm.
something like that.
Which one?
Uh,
Mark
the I'm
Mark
squishing
McKinney?
your head. That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does the yeah, well, the whatever, the Lorne
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, he did that. Anyways, though, so he plays Dr. Evil, and Dr. Evil has a son though that they're like, well, in case you weren't to return, we unthawed your sperm and created a child. Bring in Scott, Scott Evil. And like this is Seth Green's like one of his better roles. Like this guy's been acting forever, but this is probably the one that really blew him up.
Yeah. And he's just kind of like a normal guy of that age from that time, like not interested in the workings of the evil corporation.
And also he has no patience for like the typical tropes of
Oh yeah.
so wait, you're gonna keep him locked up and leave? Don't you at least want to see if they die? And Dr. Evil's like, no, no, no. I give him a speech and I leave. This is how it goes. He's like, why don't you like I have a gun in my bedroom. I can take it. Boom, dead. And Dr. Evil's like, you just don't get it, do you, Scott? Their dynamic is so funny throughout the trilogy. Like they never see eye to eye and stuff. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Like when he's doing the Macarena in front of him, it's like taka 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 taka.
I'm hip. I'm with it.
They'll look at me like I'm frickin' Frankenstein. Give me a hug. Uh, great puns that aren't really off as bad as like actual Bond movies are. Like a lot of vagina. You know? It's like it's so on the nose. I still feel that Bond movies with their sexual puns is just ridiculous. So yeah.
Yes.
Oh, amazing little gimmick or whatever is when he's in the cartwheel, or no, in the go
Like
kart.
the golf cart.
Yes, the golf cart, and he's wedged in that hall, and it's impossible to get out. Like there's maybe 2 inches on either side of him, and he just keeps trying. Like he looks backwards, shifts it, goes front. Oh, so good.
One thing that is just like blowing my mind is um that was made in the 90s, about the 60s, and now we're as far away from the 90s in the 20s as
Wow,
the 90s was away from the 60s.
wow.
And like I just don't feel like things have changed as much in the world since then. You know what I mean? Like that you could make a like if a 90s guy came here to make like a fish out of water movie, like just doesn't seem like it would hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't think of too much stuff that would be just so out of whack with now. Like because the 60s was crazy decade. Yeah. Revolutionary, you might say. What else? What else? Frau Barbicina, she was good.
Yes.
She randomly yells out her German-like orders.
Oh, and the thing with the leprechaun.
All right. See, that was, oh my gosh, that's kind of lazy to me though. Mike Myers, he comes up with some like jokes that are so good sometimes, but then he comes up with jokes where it's like, I've heard that before. I've seen it at parties. You're just doing stuff that like, you made your celebrity friends laugh and he puts it in the script, but it's like, we've heard that before. Like in Goldmember, where he's like, if you have an issue, here's a tissue. Like, oh God, like I've heard that. So bizarre.
Yeah, but when they're good, they're good. Like I don't
Really? That
remember.
doesn't bother you when like a pre-existing joke?
Um, I mean, I guess I hadn't heard. Like honestly, that movie was the first time I had heard that one.
Oh,
But um, yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of boring when it's like a joke you might have heard elsewhere.
it is very weird when he duplicates his jokes in the other movies. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't when the rocket's falling down and it's like, oh, it looks like a giant cock. It's like, how could you say that? No, I'm talking about this pecker, the woodpecker, and it's just like it's these false whatever. And then they do it again in the sequel, except it's boobs or melons or hooters. Yeah, so
Yeah.
bizarre.
Oh, speaking of those things though, the scenes where first he's in the nude and they like keep having stuff in between like his crotch and the camera so you never see his penis is pretty funny. And then they do it for her at the end of the movie.
And then they replicate it in the sequel opening. Oh my gosh. See, these are complaints, but overall, I like the Austin Power movies for sure. Like I remember everybody quoting Goldmember. That was crazy. Yeah. Anything else about the first one we've got to
I
mention?
mean, stuff that gets quoted, like sharks with friggin' laser beams.
What did he get instead? They're like sea bass, and they're like, are they ill-tempered? Oh man. Oh my gosh. The when Scott when he and Dr. Evil go to like a group therapy thing and they're
Oh
trying to
yeah.
open up to each other. It's like I used to remember his background. Well, like my father was a Norwegian man with I don't even remember anymore. And
Yeah,
my mom
this
was
whole
a
thing.
yeah. My
You
mom was
know,
a prostitute with webbed feet.
you know, typical typical upbringing.
That old chestnut. But then I love how later on, at the very end, Scott's like, "Dad, like I thought we were making progress. What about the group therapy?" And he's like, "I had them liquidated, you little shit." Like I love that line, liquidated, you little shit. Oh man,
Oh yeah, the fembots where
yeah.
Austin out sexies them and causes them to malfunction. And as a man with an extremely hairy chest, I appreciated him being a sex symbol in that way.
Even his chest looks like a dick. It looks like two balls and the shaft down there. Oh my gosh. Great soundtrack. I liked a lot of those 60s songs. And then
Oh
this is
yeah.
I think this brought back Burt Bacharach. I think that
Oh
actually
really?
happened. Yeah. Because he's in all three movies, I believe, right? And then he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Burt Bacharach." So bizarre.
Oh yeah, and the
Man.
the scene with at the blackjack table, the one I remembered backwards before, where he I also like to live dangerously.
I'll stay. I suggest you hit, sir. And then, of course, I really like this one where it's like, allow myself to introduce myself. My name's Richard Cunningham, and this is my wife, Oprah. Man, so much. Oh, what's his name's in this? Roseanne's husband,
Tom
Tom
Arnold.
Arnold,
Yeah.
and he just has like two scenes. He meets him outside the bathroom, then in the bathroom, and he thinks he's like when Austin's getting strangled, he thinks he's just trying to take a shit. He's like, "I'm gonna courtesy flush over there."
Who does number two work for?
Show that turd who's boss. He's like, he's like, come on, we gotta get through this. He's like really trying to support him. Oh man, what a great movie. Oh, they do this obscure reference when they're melting him. It's a shot from an old Frankenstein movie from like horror Hammer films or something, like those 60s really gross movies where like the it shows him he's on this grid or something and there's liquid, he's in liquid, then the liquid leaves and it kind of like leaves him and he's just kind of laying there. Yeah, that's from like Bride of Frankenstein remake or something.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So as a kid I was like, ew, that's so gross, but I get that, I understand that. That was pretty cool.
There's
Hmm.
also like the unintentional legacy of these movies where like James Bond movies, they felt like they couldn't be funny anymore. Like they couldn't have humor in them. So like all of a sudden they became like ultra serious, even
uh,
though, there was a lot of humor in them in the past.
yeah, I don't even try to watch those new ones, those very serious ones. Yeah. Daniel Craig, I think.
Yeah. I watched his first one, Casino Royale, and I actually thought it was really good. I haven't
But
watched any of those other ones though.
but no laughs, huh?
No, not
No.
really.
It was grim, violent.
Hmm.
Anything else about the International Man of Mystery? I do identify with him and his, the bad teeth thing, because mine are like all like crooked and shit, and I have three teeth on the front and as opposed to two, and it's chipped, and I'm just like, oh, I'm like, I have Austin Powers like teeth.
Well, between my body hair and your fucked up teeth, we can make one international man of mystery.
Dave's got to have to offer something like his glasses. I don't know. All right, should we try one more movie?
Let us do
One
so.
more movie. All right, it's from mine here. Let's see. It's a oh my gosh. Wait, we did we talk about oh we did talk about this. Deep Blue Sea. And when Matt and I were talking about we were like Deep Blue Sea? Oh, what the fuck? Okay. It's a one-word title. I believe it's wait, let me double check. Yeah, it's a one-word title. Starts with a C as in
Clifford.
claustrophobic. No. And we
Um,
talked about that.
did we? Oh. Let me look around
Uh
the room. Carpet?
it's is it more of a
Well,
verb? No. It's a shit. This is tough because I barely remember this.
crazy.
It's got Graham Greene in it.
Don't know who that is.
He's the star, so we're fucked.
Cartwheel. Um, Camera.
And no, it has something to do with
Climbing.
trees.
Chlorophyll.
Oh, is that tree related?
Well, yeah, that's what makes leaves green.
Oh, really? I don't
Hmm.
know.
Um,
Sounded like some sort of detergent you were talking about. I
oh,
barely know anything about this. Like I barely remember this.
coniferous.
It's about yeah, it's a shit. Should I just tell you?
Yes.
It's called Clear Cut.
Oh,
Oh,
never heard of it,
and
nor
what do you
seen it.
think it could
I think
possibly be
it's
about?
about an evil logging company coming through and destroying the habitats of our lovely furry and feathered friends. Um, and I think there's like two little fairy creatures that oh wait, no, I'm thinking of Ferngully. But I'm thinking Ferngully, but in the Northwoods, basically,
Oh, really?
rather than the rainforest. No, not
Like
really, but that's what I'm saying.
clear cut the last forest reserve or something like
That's
that.
right. Yes,
All right, so it looks like we're going to be joined by one David Lauer.
that's good because I couldn't handle two of them.
Uh, Dave, are you with us? Are you, can you see me?
Dave
Can you
needs a
hear me?
minute.
Yeah, red hot minute. So, anything else you think this movie's about, possibly? Graham
Um,
Greene, what is his role? Do you even know who he is?
I think the he's a environmentalist who chains himself to the large red oak that symbolizes the sanctity of the forest.
Hmm. Wow. I've seen this one time and I was a child. I was a wee lad. So I barely remember this. I just know that it's Graham Greene and he's I think he's trying to expose the company legally or something like that because they're doing some messed up shit, perhaps even like criminal. I think they even try and kill him. Oh shit. It's so weird. I came across this on Shudder.com. Do you know what Shudder is?
Not really, no.
It's a
Do they
horror
do?
movie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So this was in horror.
Oh,
But I don't
Interesting.
remember anything scary, although maybe my parents were like, don't watch during certain scenes. So maybe that's what
Covered
happened.
your impressionable eyes
Uh, Dave, are you with us?
and your equally impressionable ears.
Sensitive ears. Dave, can you no longer? No, I mean, no longer. Have you ever heard us?
What?
Damn it.
No longer have you ever heard us, Dave. I
Shit.
think Dave will tell us when he can hear us.
Looks like he's wiping the screen clean. Oh, now it's just covered up for the holy shit. Well, anyways, yeah, I barely remember this. I think it was good. It's I believe he exposes them for the bullshit they were doing and stuff. Um and it is crazy when they do that clear cut. It's like so much land is just chopped down. Like that actually happened where I grew up. My uncle like didn't even talk to us about it. He just sold a shitload of land to this lumber company, and it was like a clear cut. Like it was devastating how much trees they took. And then they did it some more, and I heard that they weren't supposed to take that part. Yeah, so they were doing some skeezy stuff then too. So yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I mean the county where we grew up, and I was reading the history on it, and it was like pretty much started out as far as white men were concerned, as like logging industry, and then like, oh, we cut down all these trees. I guess we can farm here now, and people stuck around. But um, so I guess it's been a big industry there for.
Dave, let's hear your voice.
Hey guys, how's
Ah,
my
there it is,
soothing voice sound?
Oh, I almost
refreshing.
forgot. Yeah. Dave, though, forget all that. Have you seen the movie Clear Cut?
No.
Oh shit. All right. Well, yeah, it's just an old movie from like the 80s, I think, that I watched when I was a kid, and it's about this evil it's just a corporation, but they're greedy and stuff. They want to chop all these trees, but they're doing some illegal stuff. But yeah, that's all I remember. And apparently it was a horror movie because it was on Shutter.com. So, yeah, no. Maybe maybe it is terrifying in a way for like, wildlife.
Yeah, if you're a tree.
Corporations?
Yeah. Or yeah, it is a horror movie for corporations because they do get exposed at the end, and that's probably just horrifying to them, right? Damn
They seem to be doing okay. Everyone knows they're evil and they're still thriving.
it. All right, well, let's go into the Lauer Lightning round. Eh?
All right, let's hear it.
All
Have
right.
at it.
Have you seen the movie Invictus?
No, never.
Oh wow. Never even heard
It's
of
about
it?
like the Roman Empire, like some old like Olympic games or something.
No, it's about perhaps a more younger sport. What was it again, John?
Rugby
Oh, rugby, yeah.
Oh,
in South
wow. I never
Africa.
would have guessed that.
Yeah, South Africa rugby with Nelson Mandela.
Wait, is Nelson Mandela playing rugby or is he just like a fan? Is he a big fan of the
No,
team?
he's playing Morgan Freeman in the movie. Or is it vice versa? I don't
And in Dave's universe, Invictus is actually about Roman times in the Olympics.
know. Yeah.
Yes. I was imagining people on chariots.
All right, next, have you seen the movie Cloverfield?
Yeah. Like the original one?
I think has there
Well,
been a
yeah.
remake?
Well, there was like the 10 Cloverfield Lane, which is like a
I've seen that
reboot.
one.
Yeah, I've seen them both. They're not like they're related, but they're not related. Like they're just totally separate movies. But yeah, Cloverfield, the original one was great. I thought it was really cool. I do remember like getting a little nauseous in the movie theater because of the camera shaking and just like it was nauseating at a few times. But I really enjoyed like the build up to the movie. It made me like the trailers for the movie made me want to go see it in theaters because like there was so much mystery to it. They're like, what is the monster? What are we gonna see? And it'll kind of tie into something we'll talk about later, but like you wanted to watch it before you like got spoiled, so like you had to see it in theater.
Yeah, that's right. Dave, there's a slight chance that we saw this together. I'm not sure.
We probably did.
Yeah.
Did you hold each other's hair back as you vomited from the motion sickness?
We both tried to look away and we both locked eyes as we looked at each other.
Threw up in each other's faces. Uh, yeah. Let's talk about the next one. Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
Oh my gosh, yes. I feel like this movie as a young teenager was like my first introduction to like a great modern comedy. Like, I don't know. Like, I like Dumb and Dumber. I like The Mask. But for whatever reason, like Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, like it just hit me at the right time as like a teenager where just like the gross sexual humor was just over the top hilarious to me and I loved it. Um, there's like some jokes in the movie that I didn't even understand as like a 14-year-old. I'm just like, all like the enlarger pump stuff and I didn't even know what any of this meant, but I just knew it was wrong and I probably shouldn't be hearing it, and that made me like it even more.
And now we all
And
understand it all too well.
No, that's not my bag, baby. What about this book?
This is
sort
totally
of
my
thing
bag.
is my bag, baby. Yeah, that movie's great. I love it.
We did kind of give it some shit because it repeats jokes. Like the flying dick on the satellite. They're like, oh my God, it looks like a giant shaft. Yeah, stuff like that. And then they do
Well,
the boobs in the second one. Oh, that.
yeah, I mean, I guess in the sequels they repeated it, but I like the redundancy of it where they're just going from like person to person, like, oh, that's a big old Johnson.
Yeah.
Get over here.
Sergeant Johnson, yeah. Oh, and then an amazing little visual whatever is when they're on the what's that big rolling squishing vehicle?
Oh,
And
the
It's like a
steamroller.
steamroller.
yeah. And then the guy from Mad TV is the security guy. He's like, nah. They're like, move, move. They're like 100 feet away. It was so funny. Oh my gosh. And he just keeps standing there and then they're like eventually roll over him. That was so good. Ah, yeah. Good stuff. Well, I guess that's the end. Oh, wait, Dave, what was some plot in Cloverfield? Let's go back just a little bit.
The plot. The plot. I remember they're all at like some party in some like New York or something, big city apartment. And then they're all just drinking, partying, being, I don't know. They're like early 20s, late teens or something. And then all of a sudden there's like something commotion outside. There's like something on the news or something. And it's like a alien invasion, I believe, or you might think it's that, but it could be like Godzilla. Like there's just a giant disturbance and everyone starts to panic. But like it's like the beginning of the movie where it's like it could be aliens or zombies or Godzilla. You just know that everyone's freaking out and, probably 95% of the people don't even know why they're freaking out. It's just everyone else is freaking out. So just everything's in a panic. But like what the actual monster was, I don't know. It's probably like something similar to Godzilla, where it's just like a monster living under the ocean or something that decides to wake up after 10,000 years and terrorize people.
Whoa. So you don't even remember what it looks like?
No, it was just like this giant thing. I don't know.
That's awesome. All right,
But
well,
like, do you actually even see it other than like you see, like, I don't know. I remember some vague outside shots where it's like just massive, but I don't really remember much.
yeah, it's kind of hard to make out, but they do show some clips and stuff. And I think I've looked it up online since then, and it looks so bizarre and odd. Don't really care for it. No. Oh, do you remember the love story in it at all?
No.
Ah, yes. It was pretty bad. All right, well, that's the show then. Go to my movierecollection.com. I was Vincent Cloud.
Check us out on your favorite podcast app. Leave us a review. 5 stars. I was John Nemitz.
And a small cameo with Dave.